comment, and subscribe. Would greatly appreciate it. So I recently started sharing my journey with fibroids. I am scheduled for a myomectomy. I am maybe a little over a week before I have my surgery. So I am going through preparation, and that is ultimately what this video is about, is the prep process. And I know it's like when you're having surgery, you can't really control the outcome, but I'm trying to get everything prepared, just to kind of make this process a little bit easier, or as easy as I possibly can, right? Also this week, I have my pre-op appointment with my provider, and I have a ton of questions for her. And so maybe that's where we'll start. So if you have experienced fibroids, if you have had a myomectomy, regardless of the type of myomectomy, please comment. Please share with your girl what your process has been like. Y'all, because I still have so many questions. I am scheduled for the robotic, and I don't know if I'm gonna go forward with the robotic. In my research, I went on to Reddit, and someone recently commented or posted that her provider was only able to get 50% of her fibroid during the procedure with the robotic. And so she was basically distraught, because she's like, you were only able to get 50% of my fibroid. What does my future look like? Am I still going to end up having the same symptoms? So I've gone through this surgery, I've gone through this procedure, and I don't know if it's truly going to be beneficial. And that is the position that I truly and honestly did not want to be in. And I feel like with the robotic, I do feel like there's so many more limitations. And so that is a conversation that I'm really going to have with my provider. And there's no guarantee, right? The abdominal, they go in, I think they have a better insight of what's going on. And so they can actually get the full fibroid. And then most times, if there are any additional fibroids that are small, they can go get those fibroids as well. So that is honestly the biggest thing at the forefront of my mind at this moment, is, am I going to be able to continue on with the robotic, because it does have a shorter recovery time. So yeah, I don't know. So we're going to see what my provider says, because fibroids have impacted my quality of life, most definitely. And I think I talked about that a little bit in the last video. And so if I get into a scenario where they can only get 50%, what the hell y'all take? So no. No. So, and the other reason why they could only get 50% of her fibroid was because she had also started to, I think, bleed or lose a certain amount of blood, and so they couldn't switch courses. So they had to continue with the robotic and could only get 50%. So I don't know, but we're definitely going to have that conversation with my provider. But listen, nobody's the same. Things are different. My fibroid could be located in a different part, and it might be easier for the robotic, procedure to take place and then get, all of everything. So we'll see. On to the prep. Yeah. It may sound a little bit vain, but I just want to be comfortable. I don't want to have to worry about anything other than taking my medication, getting up to walk, and eat. So with that being said, I have an appointment tomorrow to get my hair braided. We're gonna throw this hair in some braids, some large braids. We're gonna put it up on a bun, and we're gonna be good to go. And we're not gonna have to worry about any aspects of hair as we recover, because yes, I don't want to have to worry about washing my hair. I don't want to have to worry about any of that. So we're definitely going to get some large braids. We're going to pile it up on a bun again, and we're going to move on with our recovery. The other thing is that based off of my research, I've heard that, sleeping at night can be a little bit difficult. And so some have recommended actually getting a pregnancy pillow. It can just make you a little bit more comfortable with being able to rest and sleep at night and all the things. So I'm going to order me a pregnancy pillow today so that it will be here in time. And listen, don't laugh at me. I'm gonna get a walker. So with a myomectomy, they're going into your core, and your core is the powerhouse for a lot of your muscles and things like that. So based off of conversations that I've had with friends after the surgery, you know, it has been difficult to kind of get up, get down. You basically lose a lot of your strength, right? So I feel like the walker will kind of just be able to assist me and my family with getting me up out of the bed, and then honestly just walking, because I'm going to try and move around as much as I possibly can. Just even if I just take like a quick walk up and down the hall and come back to bed. You know, the bed takes your energy. That's what the old folks always say. I'm from the South. The bed takes your energy. So I just want to make sure that I have something that can kind of assist, you know, with that process. So my mom had knee surgery a few years ago, so she has a walker. So they're going to bring that when they come, and you know, hopefully that is of great help. So right now we're going to braids. We're going to get a pregnancy pillow, and we are going to get ourselves a walker. And the last thing that I plan to do is to buy me a lot of like oversized lounge wear, undergarments, just so that I'm comfortable and nothing is, you know, clinging on to the body, and everything can just kind of breathe and be free. So those are the things that I am preparing for right now with my myomectomy that is coming up. I am curious to hear about anyone's journey who has gone through this process, any tips, tricks, anything that you have. There's so much information. A classmate of mine had surgery here recently, and she recommended Reddit. So y'all, I have a ton of like medications, things that I'm going to ask my provider for. One being, I've heard that, you know, the gas pains can be pretty severe. But you can ask your provider to try and release as much of the gas as possible before they close, you know, everything up and bring you out from under the anesthesia. So that's my list of preparation and where I am. I will try and film as much of the process as I possibly can, because again, I have my pre-op later this week, and hopefully I can check in with you all and let you know definitely which procedure I am going to move forward with. Right now it's the robotic, but I am not sure. So thank you all so much for tuning in to Life by Sade and tuning into my journey with fibroids. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Everyone have a blessed day. And if there is anyone who is going through the process of scheduling your surgery, please do it. Please do it. I have spoken to so many other women who say that it is worth it. It is nerve-wracking, but it is worth it. And so, you know, peace and blessings to anyone else who is on the same journey as me. We got this.